Here we go. Quick video on 8.2, applying exponent properties involving quotients. Okay, so let's just take a look at some examples here. This first one, we have 8 to the 10th divided by 8 to the 4th. Well, what this is going to look like is 8 times 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 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 9. There you go. All divided by 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. Okay, now these are going to start canceling and dividing out to become 1. And then I'm going to be left with this, which is 8 to the 6th power. Okay, so another way you can look at it too is if you can sort of reverse what we were doing in the previous chapter. So you can say 8 to the 10 is 8 to the 4th times 8 to the 6th divided by 8 to the 4th. Well, this one cancels with this one, and I'm left with 8 to the 6th. Okay? Well, let's go ahead and try this next one. Okay? We've got negative 3 to the 9th, and we have negative 3 to the 3rd. Well, this is going to look like negative 3, right, to the 3rd power times negative 3 to the 6th power, and then I'm going to get negative 3 to the 3rd power. These cancel out, and I'm left with negative 3 to the 6th power. All right? Just a general idea here. Okay, let's try another one. 5 to the 4th times 5 to the 8th over 5 to the 7th. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my properties, right? 5 to the 4th and 5 to the 8th is going to make 5 to the 12th over 5 to the 7th. Okay, and if you want to break it down, we can say that this is 5 to the 7th times 5 to the 5th over 5 to the 7th, right? Cancel those out. And I'm hoping you're starting to see the pattern that's happening here as we do this. Okay, and in the next one, this is 1 over x to the 4th times x to the 6th over 1, right? And so this is going to become x to the 6th over x to the 4th. Well, when I do this, I'm going to get x to the 4th times x squared over x to the 4th. These cancel out, and I'm left with x squared. Okay? Again, I hope you're seeing the pattern here. Okay, let's try another one. Simplify these expressions. Why don't you try these two right now? Pause the video. Okay, we have a chance to do this. So this one's going to be 6 to the 5th times 6 to the 6th, right? And this is all over 6 to the 5th. These cancel out, and I'm left with 6 to the 6th power. All right, let's try this one. Negative 4. I can break this down to negative 4 squared and negative 4 to the 7th power over negative 4 squared divided by itself is going to equal 1. So I get negative 4 to the 7th power. Okay. I'm hoping you got those, right? So let's move it up. Let's try a couple more here. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video and try these two. Go. Okay, hopefully you had a chance to do that. And what we're going to do, so we've got 9 to the 7th over 9 squared, right? This is 9 to the squared times 9 to the 5th over 9 squared. Cancel, cancel. 9 to the 5th is what I end up with. Okay, again, over here we've got, when we multiply this out, we're going to end up with y to the 8th over y to the 5th, which is y to the 5th times y cubed over y to the 5th. These cancel out, and I'm left with y cubed. Okay, again, I'm hoping you start seeing the pattern here, right? Y to the 8th over y to the 5th, I end up with y cubed. Okay, so let's try it. Now we've got some more ones that look like fractions. Well, again, what this is looking like is this says everything on the inside is raised to the 3rd power. So that's x over y times x over y times x over y. Right? Well, this becomes 1. You multiply your numerators and you multiply your denominators, and so you're going to get this, and you're going to end up with x cubed over y cubed. Right? And if you see this, if you would have just separated this x cubed, right? We could have said x cubed, and then y cubed over y cubed, we would have ended up with our same answer. Okay? So why don't you go ahead and try B, and you do that one on your own. Okay? Well, hopefully you got negative 7, right? That squared over x squared. And this one, you know, of negative 7 squared, you're going to end up with, you could say 49 over x squared, right? Or you could have said, right, a negative 7 times a negative 7. You could have left it as, could have said it was 7 squared over x squared. Okay. just as long as you get the general idea here. Okay. Okay, a little bit more challenging, but why don't you pause the video and try to do this one? Okay. All right, let's take that same idea before that we did and say each piece here, right? Well, let's just do this. Let's say 4x squared times over 5y, right? And this is going to be, whoops, let's get rid of that. That's kind of nasty looking, okay? Times 4x squared over 5y times 4x squared over 5y, okay? And I'm going to get 4 times 4 times 4, which is 4 cubed, right? And then x to the 6th over 5 cubed y to the 3rd. And that's going to be, well, 4 cubed is 64 x to the 6th, and 5 cubed is 125 y to the 3rd, okay? And what I could have done to begin with is I could have just said 4 cubed x squared cubed, which is to the 6th, over 5 cubed y cubed. Right? Same answer. Okay, well then hopefully with here you get 8 squared to the 5th power is going to be 8 to the 10th over b to the 5th, right? Times 1 over 2a squared. Well, this becomes one problem like this. Okay, and so now I can look and I can say, okay, well, 2 of these will cancel with 2 of those, so I'm going to be left with a to the 8th, right? And we'll take out a squared over, and we can say b to the 5th times 2 times a squared. Well, those cancel out, and I'm going to be left with a to the 8th over 2b to the 5th power. Okay? Why don't you go ahead and try doing this one? This should be a little interesting. Okay, so again, we're going to raise each one of these. So I'm going to get 2 cubed r cubed over 3t, okay? And then this is going to be times t to the 5th, and this is going to be times 16. Well, right here I can see a common factor, right? So this is going to become 1, and this will become 8, right? And I see 1t here and 5 t's there. So I'm going to cancel one of these with this, and it'll become 4. And so I'm going to be left with, whoops, scratch that. I got way too far ahead of myself. Okay, let's reverse. Okay, let's multiply 2 cubed. Sorry, I got a little excited. So we got 8r cubed t to the 5th over, right? And now I'm going to just keep it as 3 times t times 16, because now I can cancel this, and I'm going to be left with 2 there, okay? So then I'm going to cancel this with one of those, and I get 4 there. So I'm going to get r cubed t to the 4th over 6. Okay? And that's my final answer. Okay? Well, why don't you go ahead, try doing these problems at home. I apologize for the late notice. If you didn't have a chance to watch this on Tuesday night, then or the night that I first signed it, don't worry about it. You can watch it again tomorrow. We probably won't get to this until Thursday. So good luck.